All right, guys. So this guy, he says he's in a bad position, and he's saying that he has met one woman and she's fantastic, but then he met another lady and she's even better, and they got crazy chemistry, and so he's struggling to find an idea of how to have a conversation with the first lady and let her down easy, right? He says she's strong and stable. I'm sure it'll go fine, but I really don't know what to do. And this is a big problem with a lot of nice guys, is that they feel they don't want to be the bad guy. They don't want to feel like they're going to ruin, or they don't want her to. It's less that he wants to hurt her feelings, if you look deep down, and it's more of just him looking like a dickhead to her, because he wants to look like the good guy to all women, and that's ingrained into his psyche, and so he doesn't want to look like a bad guy. And so you'll notice that when, and maybe you've noticed this, when you try to break up a woman, you'll be like, this is really hard for me to do, and all this stuff, and like, she doesn't care that it was hard for you to do, and you might have noticed that. And so guys will hold off breaking up with a woman just because they don't want her to think badly of him, because they don't want any woman to think badly of him, because somehow that reduces his pool of women that's available to him, which is crazy. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you think about it, you're doing her a favor when you break it off early, because if you keep it going and then like it kind of falls apart on its own, I mean, immediately she's going to feel that attention. And take it from me, when you're dating multiple women and you can't give 100% to all the women you're talking to, they start to feel it. Like, in other words, you start going, oh, the new shiny woman over here. It can be very hard to still keep interest in the woman that you've been seeing for 2 months if it wasn't super fantastic. And so as soon as that other woman comes along, and trust me, I've experienced this many times, that other woman will notice the energy shift, and she'll say, what's going on? Why is things different? And you'll start doing things and acting in a way, because you're not fully into her anymore. You're into new shiny woman over here. And so you gotta get ahead of these things. You don't want it to go it's too far, and that's how you can date multiple women ethically, is you have to really get ahead of these things, and you have to start really feeling where she's at. And that's not something I recommend at the beginning. You don't want to run before you can learn to crawl, and learning how women respond and having your nervous system just calm down so you can feel her intuitively where she's at and where her level of attraction for you and where she's about to fall in love with you is really, really critically important when you're dating multiple women, because you got to get ahead of these things so you don't leave this trail of broken hearts and give yourself this shitty reputation around town, especially if you're in a small town. And yeah, I mean, some women will try to deceive you. They'll say, well, no. And they know that if they push the issue that you'll probably break up with them. And you'll notice these things over time. You'll notice that where she's trying to keep you and trying to put on a show versus being authentic with you. And you'll see that you'll start to feel where she's at. You'll feel about when she's starting to fall for you, like hard, like fall in love with you. And you'll feel where it's going from the casual phase into the more serious phase for her. And you want to try, to the best of your ability, is to try to head that off. You're not always going to be able to do it, but from my experience, if you can head it off, you can usually turn these things into friendships, and it's not that big of a deal. You just, but the thing is you have to do it now, because if you let it go, then she's going to get more and more attracted to you over time, and now you're going to have a really bad situation on your hand. And girl number one might even try to sabotage it with girl number two, and she'll be like, well, I can feel there's another woman in the picture. What's going on? She'll search that woman out, and I've had women do that. I've had women try to sabotage. I even had a woman try to sabotage my relationship with Alicia. And that's the thing. That's the reality of the situation. So the faster you can head it off, the faster you can break it up with a woman. As soon as you know that she's not the one for you, you got to break it off immediately. You can't wait another minute, another day. You got to do it fast. And it sounds cruel, but you got to think about it this way. If she's hung on to you in a dishonest way, then that not only is she pouring all her energy and hopes and dreams into this guy, but she's also blocked from having a new guy come into her life. So you're actually doing a double disservice to her. So, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we're not a good match. That's the whole point of the dating phase. And, a strong woman, you said she seems strong and stable, but a woman who's secure in herself, she's going to take it better than you probably think she's going to. We tend to project that, oh, we're a nice guy, we can't stand the rejection, and we feel really bad about rejecting somebody else. And I know I just said that we don't worry about that so much, but we do. really. And so we don't want to yeah, come off as a jerk, and we want her to let her down easy. We want her to get to the friendship zone and all that stuff. So you got to do it early on. Yeah, she'll be disappointed. And some women can't handle it. Some women you'll only be talking to them for like 2 weeks. You'll have 2 dates or whatever. And she'll be like, "What do you mean? I thought it was going great." And she'll be really upset. But the more secure one will be like, "You know what? That's fine. That's great." And she'll say, "Let me know if it doesn't work out." And you'll say, "Absolutely, I will." That's all I got for you without going down a huge rabbit hole in how this whole system works in that way. I get into this in the more advanced one-on-one coaching, but I don't know. I'm just talking. Anyways, that's it. Bye.